Hey everyone, Deadlock and me here. Today we're diving into something important, why you suck at Deadlock. Deadlock is an exciting new MOBA that mixes hero shooter elements, giving it unique mechanics that demand both quick reactions and strategic thinking. Whether you're a beginner or just looking to up your game, I'm going to break down the common mistakes players make and how to fix them. Let's start with one of the most important stages in Deadlock, the laning phase. This is where many players fall short, but mastering it can give you a huge advantage. First off, positioning is key. Make sure to stay behind your troopers or minions to avoid taking unnecessary damage. They act as a shield, so if you're too aggressive and step in front of them, you're exposing yourself to enemy attacks and their troopers' damage. As short as 5 seconds in this position can drain more than half of your health. Next, you need to focus on last hitting. Killing enemy troopers at the right moment grants you souls, which you'll need to buy powerful items later on. Many players waste time harassing enemies without collecting souls, and that's a big mistake. Souls are your path to stronger abilities and survival. Another crucial tip many players overlook is managing your ammo. You don't want to run out of ammunition at the worst moment, especially when you need it for a critical last hit or to deny enemy souls. Carelessly shooting at full HP troopers or the enemy can leave you vulnerable, so be patient and use your shots wisely. Remember to always prioritize last hitting and denying over unnecessary pokes at the enemy. Finally, always keep an eye on your lane turrets. Early on, your turrets are your best defense, so use them to help control your lane. Remember, Deadlock is a game of strategy, and winning the laning phase is the first step to victory. Another major area where players often struggle is itemization. Many new players get overwhelmed by the shop. You should always tailor your build based on the situation. If you're getting pressured in the lane, focus on defensive items to stay alive longer, such as healing right or extra regen. If you're dominating, consider more aggressive items to keep the pressure on the enemy, like headshot booster or mystic burst. Learn the core items for your hero and adapt your build according to what the enemy team is doing. This flexibility is key in Deadlock, and sticking to a rigid item build can often lead to a loss. After the laning phase, the game transitions into more frequent team fights. Here, positioning becomes crucial. Many players make the mistake of diving in too early or staying too far back. If you're playing a damage dealer such as Grey Talon or Vindicta, stay behind your tanks and let them engage first. You need to focus on dealing damage while staying safe. Support players, such as Ivy or Dynamo on the other hand, should prioritize healing and buffing their teammates from a distance while avoiding the main area of conflict. Keep in mind that all heroes can be used differently, and Dynamo or Ivy could also become DPS dealers. You need to know what you are doing and adapt. Communication with your team is essential during team fights. Always focus on targeting the key enemy heroes, like their damage dealers or supports. Eliminating them early can swing the fight in your favor. Avoid getting tunnel vision on just one enemy, as this can leave you vulnerable to flanking or crowd control from others. Deadlock is more than just killing enemies. Controlling the map and objectives is what ultimately wins the game. Pay attention to key objectives like towers, jungle camps, and mid-boss or urn. Securing these objectives gives your team powerful buffs and souls, helping you snowball the game in your favor. Late game strategy. As the game reaches the late stages, every decision becomes more critical. Players often forget to farm at this point and just try to fight. You should clear lanes and camps all game long. Another common mistake players make is overextending. At this point in the game, a single death can lead to a lost team fight or even the destruction of key objectives like your base's turrets or the Patron. Always keep an eye on the map and make sure you aren't pushing too far without your team's backup. In the late game, focus shifts more towards objectives rather than kills. Killing an enemy is important, but securing objectives like the boss or taking down turrets will push your team closer to victory. Work closely with your team to prioritize these objectives and avoid unnecessary fights that could lead to your team being wiped out. Another critical aspect of the late game is knowing when to go back to base. If you're low on health or resources, it's tempting to stay out on the map to continue farming or pushing. However, pushing too hard while you're vulnerable often leads to a swift death, which can shift the momentum to the enemy team. Make sure to return to base when needed to heal or buy key items. It's better to take a few seconds to regroup than to risk giving the enemy a free kill. After going back to base, use this time to communicate with your team and plan your next move. Whether it's contesting an objective or grouping up for a final push, staying on the same page with your team can make or break the game. Remember, Deadlock is a team-based game, and coordination in the late game is the only way to securing victory. Deadlock is a game that rewards smart decisions and teamwork. By improving in these areas, whether it's mastering the laning phase, focusing on objectives, or knowing when to regroup, you'll see your gameplay improve dramatically. Keep practicing, and don't forget that every game is a learning opportunity. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more Deadlock tips and strategies. See you later.